Hi, I'm Julia Harris, a.k.a. Julia the Realtor.
And I'm Karen Jones-Lewis, your Georgia, Florida Realtor.
We would like you to join us every first and third Saturday at 12 noon, where we will answer all your real estate questions.
Good morning, WMBM listeners. Welcome to the Julia the Realtor Show, all the way live from beautiful North Miami, Florida, where you can get your up-to-date real estate information and all your real estate questions answered, and in the process, have a little fun. If you're in need of real estate services in the Broward and Dade County areas, you can call me directly at 954-483-9994. You can also find me on Facebook at Julia the Realtor SFL, on Instagram at Julia the Realtor, Twitter at Julia the Realtor 1, and on my website at www.juliatherealtor.com. That's Julia, Julia, D as in David, A as in Apple, Realtor.com. But while I'm here on the show, you can call 954-525-1490. Joining me is my colleague, co-host, and friend, Karen Jones-Lewis. Karen.
What's up, Julia the Realtor? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Child, I can hear you. There's a little bit of feedback, but it's all good. We can keep it going.
Yeah, we're going through. We're going to go through. All right. Good afternoon, WMBM listeners. I am Karen Jones-Lewis. I'm your real estate broker in sunny South Florida. Don't forget, I also go to Port St. Lucie, Bradenton, you name it. Anywhere in South Florida, your real estate agent, Karen Jones-Lewis, will go there. And you can contact me, 305-323-1556. My business Facebook page is Karen K1 Realty Group, personal Karen Jones-Lewis Realtor, and my phone number again is 305-323-1556. You can get me there anytime. All righty, Julia, what's going on today?
Well, Karen, sorry I couldn't be there with person live in living color. I can't hear you.
Julia, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, well, we're going to get this show on the road because it's a little static with you, but stay on the line with us, okay? But you didn't leave me cold and dry, so that's a good thing. You always look out for me. But one thing about it, I don't like sitting in your seat, so next show, I need you back here, all right?
Yeah, I'll be right back there. I'm trying to see if I can get some good reception where I'm at, but yeah.
It's all good. It's all good, Julia, because guess what? You looked out for me because we got two awesome guys in the house, and they're going to talk about some stuff that people want to hear about, need to hear about, and should know about. They're going to talk about mortgages. You know we always need some good mortgage guys, right? Always need somebody to give us a pre-approval. Always looking for mortgage guys, mortgage companies, brokers, corresponding lenders to call, and somebody we can get in touch with 24 hours, right?
That's right.
Not 12 hours, 24 hours. And one of them, Leonardo, is one of those guys. So Leonardo and Ed, go ahead. The floor is yours. Give us a little background about yourself and we'll get this show rolling.
Good afternoon, guys. This is Leonardo Garcia speaking here. If you want to reach out to me, I'm on social media as well. Instagram is leo.loansmiami. Direct line will be 786-223-9925. I'm going to hand it over to Ed here.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and allowing us to be part of your show today. We want to talk a little bit today to you about the process of purchasing a home and of obtaining that American dream that we also hardly chase after day by day.
Gotcha. Here's a question, though. You know, Ed, you don't know, but normally I always jump in and Julie have to catch me because I'll jump in because I get excited. So you said you want to talk about how people can get qualified for a home.
Correct,
right.
Correct. I think.
Is it easy? Is it an easy process?
It is a fairly easy process, and I think it's a lot easier than people actually anticipate. I think everybody gets a little bit nervous when this is a subject that comes up because you don't know what the first steps to take are, but it's actually a very, very simple process that can actually be done in a course of a day. The first step to being pre-approved is we need to take a credit application from the potential buyer. And the second step is actually we need to get a list of documentation that we need to gather from them in regards to their income, because of course the income dictates directly what amount of a purchase price it is that they can qualify for.
Gotcha. Okay, and another thing, on a good note too, you all speak English and Spanish. ¿Cómo te llama?
Me llamo Ed Ruiz.
That's it. That's all I know. Okay. So,
God, that's funny.
Julia, you want to say something?
I mean, my Spanish may be a smidge better, but it ain't all that great either.
Oh, now wait a minute. Stop. ¿Cuáles sus direcciones? Okay, I got some more in my back pocket. Okay.
Well,
so,
for all the listeners out there, we take them in English and we take them in Spanish. Come on.
Exactly. And listeners, if you're interested in getting pre-approved for a house, give us a call on the station and so you can ask some questions. The phone number is Dade County 305-953-9626, Broward County 954-525-1490, and our toll-free number here is 888-599-WMBM. Ed, I want to ask you another question, and Leo, you can jump in as well. So when a person calls you guys to get pre-approved, sometimes people are afraid because of their credit score. They don't want to call in and they think that they can't get a house. Now, have you ever seen a credit score so bad that you said this person would never get a loan?
Well, listen, I think we've all had our challenges in our lifetime with credit. The good thing, the way we approach it is a little bit differently than other folks over at American Bank Shares. We don't ever like to think that anybody's denied or does not qualify for a loan. We like to look at it either you're ready and you qualify now, or you just need a little bit of work to help you get to where you need to get to be able to qualify for a home.
How long you've seen that it takes for somebody to get qualified, that you've watched the process? I mean, for yourself personally, you and or Leo say, and be truthful. I know you will, but say, I've had to watch Karen Doe for 5 years to get their credit in order to purchase a house, or I've had to 10 years, or I've had to 2 years. What's the longest that you've seen somebody had to go through the process of getting their credit in order to purchase a home?
I mean, I would say the longest I've seen someone have to work on recovering and getting their credit back to where it was maybe about maximum a year. But I would say on average, anywhere from 3 to 6 months. The average person can turn around and get their credit back in order to qualify for a loan, just because the flexibility of the programs that are out here available nowadays to help you become a homeowner.
Okay.
So every situation would be different, so you have to cater to every person individually. And everybody has to be in the same, ballpark. Everybody has to turn in the documentation. Everybody has to do what they have to do in order to continue with the process and make sure it happened on time.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
So
I got a question.
Go ahead, Julia.
I'm inserting myself today, honey. So, Leo, please explain to the listeners what are the required documents that they need to turn into you guys.
Okay, so we have, there's different sets of documentation if you're a W-2 employee or a 1099 employee. Basically, if you're a W-2 employee, what we're going to ask for is 2015, 2016 tax returns, and that's including all schedules. We'll also be asking for 2015 and 2016 W-2s. And your most recent pay stubs covering at least 30 days, and your most recent 2-month bank statements.
Gotcha.
And for the 1099ers?
For the self-employed borrowers, we ask the same for the last 2 years tax returns, personal. If they have business, if they own a business and they're incorporated, we ask for also the most recent 2 years business tax returns, including all schedules and K1s, and their bank statements, their last 2 months' bank statements. Along to go with this is the credit application, of course.
Okay. So I'm going back. We're going to go to that question too, but I'm going to go back with the bad credit, because there's a lot of, I won't say a lot of people, but there are sometimes people come to us with bad credit, and they really need to understand that there is hope that they can purchase a house, and they just have to go through the process. So here I come into your office, and my credit score is what's it? 403. Okay, 403. Okay, so you look at me like, oh God, I don't even want to spend time with her. But not you guys, because you will work with anybody. Because I know Leo and Ed, I know you all will go above and beyond. Okay,
we try.
I can vouch for these guys here.
Thank you.
So 403 credit score. I come in. Income is good. I come in. I got a judgment for $20,000 on my credit. And had a bad year. I'm a 1099, so I had a bad year with the IRS. So I owe the IRS $30,000. Okay, repossessed car, short sale. No, WMBM, it's not me.
Karen, I was about to say, Lord.
So anyway, because I'm going to, Julie, I like to go to the extreme because somebody could be listening, even if it's not them, it could be somebody that they know, and they're not going through the process of trying to get a house, the American dream. Correct. So we're looking at all of those scenarios, and again, like I said, the income is good, and I owe about $20,000 in credit card debt. And I got student loans now. On top of that, I got student loans that I'm not paying, and I'm finished school. Help me, Leo. Help me, Ed.
Well, we're going
instead of screaming.
That's a very extensive scenario that we have to analyze here.
Circumstance.
yeah. But look, here, the good thing is that it's doable.
It's doable.
Everything is doable, right? And it's just a matter of time. Listen, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sit down and we're going to identify what deficiencies we have. Things such as student loans, the government is very, the lending institutions are very particular about student loans. So the first thing we would help this particular customer do is get their student loans back on track, get back on the phone with the lending institution that has lent them the money for the student loans, and try to get them back in a positive
Life.
yeah, exactly. Sorry, the positive status with the student loans. Get them back on track. Get payments being made, so that could start reporting positively. See, the thing with credit is, it takes time to reestablish it and to get it to build itself back up. So someone who has this situation with student loans that are falling behind, we'll work with them to try to get back on track. And then, of course, the amount of time that you start making the positive payments on time, as that kind of creeps along, then the credit score is going to start moving its way back up. Now, other deficiencies such as collections, repossessions, and things of that nature, you can work with, depending on the time frame that they have, we can work with the bureaus in having some of those things removed from the credit reports, if they've already passed the time frame established by law that they have to be on their reporting.
Gotcha. So in other words, what you're saying to me and WMBM listeners, you can work with us even when it looks bad on our behalf. Even when we think that we can't get a house, you still can work with us, and you'll open the door when we come to your door.
Basically, if you're not ready now, you're going to be ready in the future. So what we do is consult you and, walk you down the right path to go ahead and take the credit application, ask for the right documentation, make sure your credit's, on point, and then we move forward.
So so with that being said, that means you're going to hold my client's hands.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's the key right there. We just need somebody to hold our hands.
Correct.
Okay,
correct,
awesome.
Correct.
Okay, WMBM listeners, I know there's somebody out there that's looking for a house and thought that today that they couldn't get it. Now you know that you can get a house. Call us. Say something to Ed. Say something to Leo. We have gas. Phone number 305-953-9626. Broward 954-525-1490. Toll free. So you have no excuse. 888-599-WMBM. One caller. Let Leo and Ed know that me and Julie is not the one on the radio all the time by ourselves. Because Leo asked me, do you get any callers? All right, so that's good. Julia, you have any questions?
Okay, so what programs do you have for, say,
Awesome.
first-time home buyer?
Okay, well, the program that we mostly use for first-time home buyers, just because it allows us the most flexibility in the process of getting our buyers approved, is the government-backed program FHA. I'm sure everyone's heard of FHA. It's a program that's backed by the United States government, and where it differs from the other program that's most commonly used, which is the conventional loan, which would be the loan that your traditional lending institutions such as Bank of America, Regions Bank, and so forth use, is that it allows us a lot more flexibility. Not so
what
much.
way?
Well, the minimum down payment requirement required by FHA, which is 3.5% of the purchase price, is the smallest among all programs available, with the exception to the VA, which is veterans, for our military and service people. The credit score requirement that FHA requires is a lot lower than the conventional as well. Conventional requires at least a 680 credit score. So FHA, ideally, we would have a 620, but we can get an approval with as low as a 580 credit score.
For FHA, you can.
Correct,
580.
correct. So that's one of the ways that the flexibility of the program allows us to get more buyers qualified. Also, there's a very important formula that's used in the industry that's basically the threshold of what we know where client qualifies for a purchase of a home, which is called the debt to income ratio. Now, basically what this formula does, it takes all of a borrower's monthly obligations based on their credit report, plus the proposed payment for the property they're going to acquire, and it divides it by your monthly income. So the regular institutional loans, or the conventional product that most banks use, allows us to only take that debt to income ratio up to 43%. FHA actually allows that to go all the way to 55%.
Oh, wow.
So it gives us a lot more of a threshold to be able to qualify our buyers for a higher purchase price than they would on a different product. So this is just some of the small prerequisites that FHA has that allows us more flexibility and getting buyers qualified to purchase a home.
Here's a question that I have, and I think it would be a good question for you to answer over the air. When we purchase a car, we do what we shop around.
Correct.
Now, with the mortgage, tell us about, is it good to shop around? Is it not good to shop around? Will our credit decrease? Tell us about that.
Well, I always like to encourage a little bit shopping around in regular life, because, of course, you always want to have different options to what it is that you're seeing. But in the mortgage industry and in the world of mortgages, you want to kind of limit that to as little as possible as you can, because what happens is every time that you sit with someone to be pre-approved for the purchase of a home, they're going to sit down, they're going to run your credit. Once they run your credit, this creates what they call a hard inquiry. And too many hard inquiries on your credit in a short amount of time can definitely affect your credit score.
So let's deal with that. Okay. So if I'm looking to purchase a house and I want to shop around, if I shop around, if Leo is a mortgage company, Ed is a mortgage company, and Julia has a mortgage company, and I shop around, are the rates going to be fairly the same, more or less, or can there be a drastic better rate for a client when they do it? Because I've also heard, in addition to that question, I've heard others say that when you're applying for a mortgage, your credit score does not change that much. And I'm sure listeners have heard the same thing.
Correct. Well, when you're applying for a mortgage, if you sit with 2 or 3 different lenders, I mean, that shouldn't affect your credit score or decrease it too much if you're doing this within a short period of time, say within a week. But if it's something that you extensively do, then it's just something that we don't recommend, because it will definitely affect your credit score. Also, once a lender runs a credit and sees that you've been shopping, then it brings up those questions to that lender. Or why are we shopping so much? Were you denied at other places before you came here? So now it starts becoming a little bit more of a higher risk loan.
See, but here you go. But you see, my credit score is 700. So more than likely, I've not been denied due to credit. I'm denied because I'm shopping because I have a credit score of 700, and I think somebody should give me a 1.2% interest rate. Okay, so that's why I'm shopping.
The words of Karen does not. No.
What, Julie?
1.2%, Karen.
I know it. I don't even want to ask now. Okay. All right. So here's another question. You got buyers coming to you, say, when a buyer is a first-time home buyer, they automatically think a when they say I'm a first time home buyer, the next breath I want some money back. So when you a first time home buyer, does that mean I automatically get money back?
Not necessarily, but there is
That's
programs out available that can benefit you in the process of being a first time home buyer.
Gotcha. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be eligible for whatever particular program that they have available. Now, do you all have some money available? Are y'all affiliated with some programs?
We sure are. We sure are, definitely.
Gotcha.
Basically, you have to qualify, for any of these programs and for the amount of money that you will receive for the down payment assistance program. It has a lot to do with your income, how much money you have saved up,
Gotcha.
Household size, things of that nature.
Okay, so you can't, if you make $100,000 just straight off, you think somebody can get some money back?
No, if you make 100,000, you're a little bit above the bracket.
Okay,
well,
all right.
Here, I'll get a little bit into it. For example, Miami-Dade County has the MD, Miami-Dade Advocacy Trust program, right?
Right.
It's one of the longest standing and running down payment programs in the whole country. But the reason and the purpose of the program is to promote and help first-time home buyers who are in a lower income bracket be able to obtain the dream of owning their own home. So what it's based on, of course, on household size, how many people are in the home,
right?
The combined income between everyone in the home, and then based on these things, you qualify for a certain amount of down payment. Now, the good thing is that the Miami-Dade County program, the only requisite they have is that you live the property for 10 years. So it's pushed to promote home ownership and to live in your home. So if you live in the property for 10 years, then the amount of money that they gave you for down payment assistance doesn't have to be paid back. It's forgiven.
Okay, so you can stay in the house for 10 years. I'm all over the place, okay, especially when Julia not here. So I'm going to go somewhere else unless Julia got a question. Julia.
Okay, so are there any for Broward that you know of?
They are different programs for Broward. Broward varies because they vary city by city.
Right.
And what happens is, since the programs have not been standing as long or has been successful as long as the one in Dade County, there's basically a waiting list waiting for those programs to have funds allocated towards them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got that, Julia?
I'm gonna ask one more.
You got a question, Julia?
Yeah, I said, how about Palm Beach? Or do you go that high?
Yeah, we go as far as Palm Beach, but again, Palm Beach is another one of the counties that is currently on waiting status to have more funds allocated to their program, to their down payment program. Okay. So are the city of Miramar, Pembroke Pines, Miami Gardens. All these counties and cities have great down payment assistance programs. Some of them give you up to $30,000 or $40,000 towards the purchase of a home. The thing is just that they're currently in the state of waiting for funds to be allocated to them from the government.
And not only that, not only do you all service the clients, you all service us as real estate agents. Leo, he did a training for me and my agents over to the office. Wonderful training, and talked about the features. So even if there are some real estate agents that's out there listening, Leo, you all go that step further and co-partner with real estate agents to help them increase their business.
Absolutely.
We do have some real estate agents listening as well. So give out you guys numbers again.
Okay, well, like I said, we're with American Bankshares Mortgage. I'm Leonardo Garcia. My number direct is 786-223-9925.
Okay, and I am Ed Ruiz, and my direct number is 786-451-1284.
And my number is 305-323-1556, and I will help you find your American dream home anywhere in Florida. I was in Naples the other day last week, Port St. Lucie. It does not matter. You know, I tell people, they ask me, do you sell homes such and such place? If my car would take me there, yes, I will.
So you travel well.
I do. Well,
I always tell them.
Go ahead, Julia.
No, I was about to say, I always tell them I'm a licensed Florida agent, so I can go anywhere in the state of Florida.
That's
you buying, I'm selling.
That's Julia the Realtor. Yes, she will go. That's why she's not here, because she is getting that further training to help these buyers and these sellers. And that's what it's all about, so that we can continue learning and growing to help and service our clients. Okay. One last question. This is a 30-second question for time's sake. 1099s. I was at the office and you said that you all have a program where you can help people with the 1099, and all they need to have is their bank statements from the business. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. We have different programs that there's clients obviously who fall out of what are the traditional loans. So we do have different loans for bank statement programs, for example, that we qualify a borrower based off the average deposit on the bank statements. And we also have programs for people who are one day out of bankruptcy, one day out of foreclosure, foreign nationals. So, yeah, we have something available to be able to give everybody a hand.
One day out of foreclosure?
Yes, ma'am.
Boom, bam. That's the magic word. Well, not magic. Let me take that back. That's the word for the day. All right, Julia, it's that time. I see it's time for us to vacate.
It is that time, Karen. So I hope that our listeners took in all this great information that we have spewed on this airways today. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I am Julia Harris, a.k.a. Julia the Realtor, 954-483-9994. Join us every first and third Saturday, same time, same place, WMBM, 1490 AM, and we're out. Peace.
All right, goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Julia the Realtor. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.